Welcome. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. For the next 90 minutes, we've got a lot for you here on the show. Highlights, looking back on all of the best sporting action from the weekend. Lots of football locally, from the President's Cup, Hearts of Oak, securing a famous win against Kumasi and Kotoko. There was league action as well. King Faisal shocked at home by a Ghana Stars. We'll play back some of that action for you. In the English Premier League, Chelsea cruised to victory against Burnley. Liverpool edged West Ham. Arsenal in a 5-goal thriller against Watford. And then the Manchester derby in the Premier League. Manchester City absolutely pummeling Man United in that 4-1 victory. We'll play back the action for you and tell you where it all went wrong, because that affected the mood of my guest in here. I don't know. We'll find out in a bit. We'll take you to Germany, where Bayern Munich dropped points for the first time in a while. In Italy, Inter Milan have gone top, but only momentarily, because AC Milan and Napoli are in action, and AC Milan look like they're heading to victory. They will reclaim that top position if they win. In Spain, Xavi is working a miracle for FC Barcelona as things stand. All of that to come, plus your views here on the show. As usual, you can get in touch with us. It's interactive on social media. Use the hashtag Scorecard on Twitter. Hashtag Scorecard on Twitter with your views, your messages. I'll retweet them, share them with the rest of our viewers from across the globe. You can also send me a WhatsApp message if you prefer that. 05505885832. It's Heritage Month, which defines my outfit. But don't go anywhere. This is Scorecard. Do stay with us. We'll be back shortly. I'll introduce my guest after that, and then we can start showing you some highlights. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. All right, so like I said, next 90 minutes, we'll have plenty of time to look back on some of your favorite sport in action. And I've got just the right men to do it, as usual. Coach Christopher Nimley and Daniel Cranton. Coach, very lovely evening to you. How are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah?
I'm very well.
How's your mood? You feeling good?
Very good.
Okay. Daniel, how are you?
When I say I'm feeling good,
no, Coach,
you
okay.
want to find problem. I can create problem for you now. You see, you are supposed to call somebody for me to talk to the person every Sunday.
I don't want problem.
Okay, so I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Just G-O-O-D.
Why haven't you called her?
Are you Daniel, how are you?
He's asking you a question.
You will answer.
My friend.
He's asking you a question.
I asked you how you're feeling.
And I'm saying,
and you
why
said
haven't you called him?
The question is...
And I said, which of the good? Just a G-O-O-D.
And I'm asking, why haven't you called her? You know, it's an agree. Even when I spoke to her on Wednesday, she reminded you clearly.
Clearly.
Very clear.
Clear.
Crystal clear.
Crystal
she said,
clear.
make sure you call me on Sunday for me to talk to coach. Simple instruction is always a problem for you.
Speaking of Wednesday, big congratulations to our good brother.
Of course, man.
Mr. Nathan Kwao.
I was with him and his wife again today. You
Yes.
can clearly see that the man has completely transformed. Look, everything about him has changed.
Oh, Nathan
He's
Kwao.
looking more manly, more mature. Come on, man.
Wow.
Yeah, come on. He started experiencing regularly the impact of having the opposite sex to sleep by you till daybreak, man. Some good connections. You understand?
Yeah, I
Some
understand.
good inducement. There is a word called inducement. Oh, Charlie, he's been induced.
Does he have all the consignments?
Look, everything is given to him.
Yeah.
He reminded
you talked
me
up today, right?
He reminded me of the electrostatic attraction that exists between static attraction that exists between the two opposite sides. Look, he said, "Look, coach, everything is going on good, man." And then I asked Madam, "Can you testify to the goodness of the concoction?" She said, "Oh, coach, please supply him more." So, yeah, everything is cool.
Concussion always comes in twos.
Yeah.
One smooth.
Now, he's my boss. I'm used to giving you double smooth, double chav. He's taking, but he had quadruple smooth, quadruple chav. Just to prolong. He said he'll resume work somewhere on the 15th.
Yes, that's true.
Of this month. So he needs to continuously recharge the battery to enable him hit good.
Yeah. I saw one of my absolute favorite things on Twitter happening within this week. Actually, on Friday, he came to Nathan came to comment on Scorecard. On Panorama, right, on Twitter. He said he's sure he wasn't listening to the show, and he said he's sure that the guys are absolutely tearing it apart. And our good friend Josh Ampadu, a doctor, replied. He said, "I have a feeling that's not the only thing that's tearing you apart, especially in your case." he said, "I have a feeling you are doing exactly the same thing, except not on radio." A big congratulations to you. All right, a little more on that later. But first up, the President's Cup. House of Folk took on Kumasi Hassan took on Kotoko at the Crack Sports Stadium. The Phobians won by 2-1.
Salim Adams here, good play there from the young man. Gets a return of the ball. Salim here, two players. Dealt with Fatau here, looking to advertise this one in here. Ball headed down, opportunity, and that's it. Efia Bania gets the goal there for Accra Heart of Folk. It was Salim. It all started by Salim here. And he found space on the right-hand side. Fatah Mohamed advertised this one. A bit junior failed to deal with it. Oh, what a strike there from this man. It's more Hassan giving the ball away. And Kumasi Hassan take on the equalizer. And I tell you what, just look at that. Well, it was poorly dealt with. It was Robert Adosoa who just missed that. And Boateng, well, again, he came off the body to ricochet the body of Moal Hassan. Absolutely amazing. He simply is a beast when it comes to this 1v1 situation. Oh, plaudits. Calm it is there for this man. And so there you go. The champions for 2022. The Gaka President's Cup. It all went to Accra Heart of Oak. 2-1 win against Marcia Sante Kotoko.
All right, so House of Folk, so used to finishing on the podium. In the last 8 months, they finished on the podium at least 3 times. That is incredible. They won the Ghana Premier League, they won the FA Cup, and now they've won the President's Cup. It's almost non-stop, House of Folk. Put a trophy there, and they know how exactly to win it. Coach, on Friday, we were doing the show while watching the game as well. House of Folk took the lead, Kotoko came back, and then they finished the game. From a House of Folk point of view, you would be very excited about the way the goal was scored, especially the winning goal. Kotoko fans will be very disappointed in their coach and the conduct of their players in the way they allowed Patrick Razak to get through on goal in the 89th minute. Game is almost done. Every single Kotoko player in the opponent's half. It made no sense.
I will address that at the later.
A little later.
When during my submission. But look, to be honest with you, proud of the game. Everybody was saying Kotoko is the team on form.
Which was true.
Yeah. But that got to the players. They got into the game believing that come what may, they will beat House of Oak. And their body language when the game started, their commitment level, everything was a bit suspicious. And when you look at the manner in which, even in that first half, the House of Oak goalkeeper never made a save. He had no save to make. But in that same first half, Dan Ladd has put together 3 world-class saves. I just can't imagine how he kept that Sulemuntari free kick.
Yeah, from I remember that.
Look,
that was a good save.
Only other day, that ball has ended in the back of the net.
Yeah.
But look at the shape of the Kotoko team. I don't know whether it was a diamond formation or he was trying to be a bit smart, wanted to impose himself in the middle of the park. Where there was Blade, there was Lamte, there was Mudasiru, and then there was another chap. And then Mbega and Vele. I told you that those 2 guys, they will continue to experience the El Clasico.
I was very surprised how dominant House of Folk were in the middle of the park, especially where Kotoko seemed to have the best talent.
I've always said that.
It was inexplicable. Salim just basically run the day.
I've spoken highly about that boy.
Yeah.
I think
He's going. I mean, I read the news the last time that, Hasselhoff may not be able to pay the asking price that Edibiase asking for, and he's going back to the club.
Of course, no, of course, they cannot take him back to Edibiase. If he's leaving Hasselhoff, then he's leaving the shores of Ghana. Yeah. He's too good a talent. Look at his physique, his height, his ability. He's too good a talent to go and be wasted.
No, obviously, Edibiase will take him.
They will take him, but look, this is one boy that Abdusalam, I know he's watching this program.
Yeah.
Abdusalam, please, Chama, if you are listening, don't take this boy anywhere at all. Take him to at least one of the 5 best leagues in Europe.
You mean you shouldn't take him to just anywhere for money?
Of course, not because of them, because that boy is an asset.
France,
he's an asset
the
to
Netherlands.
Ghana. My first choice would be France or the Netherlands, to be honest with you. Because he's too good a player.
Very talented.
His composure, his height, he does almost everything. So on Friday, he made his presence felt. And for me, I was shocked, but not too shocked. I was shocked because Kotoko had Blay, they had Mudasiru, they had Lamte. Yeah. Yet still, Salim
guys.
completely manhandled all of them at a goal. And for me, the Kotoko team, we've always spoken about their 2 centre-backs. We've always said that the number of chances they've given away in the league, if other teams have been very, very clinical against Kotoko, I'm not sure they'll be leading the league this comfortably.
Chances a lot.
Too many of them.
Yeah.
Now let me address the goal that eventually won the game. Look, the blame must be put on the coaches first. The blame must be put on the players who came to do the defensive work. Because if you go back to that goal, Kotoko had a free kick. So their 2 centre-backs actually went forward to see whether they could help knock the ball into the back of the net of Hasselhoff. Yeah. So those players who came to what? To cover up for them. You don't see your opponent standing all alone by himself and not get anybody closer to him. Naturally, the coaches should have seen that normally on set pieces, when you lose the ball as the team in possession of the ball, the transition of the other team is so quick that, and the spaces there for them to exploit usually is immense. Yeah. So if you go back to that goal again, it was a 3v1. In this particular picture we are seeing, you see 2 of the Kotoko players actually chasing Razak. Yeah. But before the pass was made, Razak would actually
everybody was in Hasselhoff's
half with 3 Kotoko players, none of them not having the intelligence
and the awareness of presence of mind.
That is it. It was free. And I was shocked. There wasn't any communication between the 3 of them. Nobody could have said, look, Charlie, he's closer to you, so make sure you close him, make sure you pick him up.
And normally, for me, my disappointment with this goal, not like the biggest. Obviously, the sequence that you
that led to the
indicated, that was all poor. But I also felt like, for example, if the goalkeeper came out earlier,
he couldn't.
Razak could have. You see, I am saying that because of the player Patrick Razak.
No, but don't say that. Technically, give Razak the benefit of the doubt. Because the reason why Danla couldn't have come earlier, because he saw that his defenders were chased, so he needed to.
Because Razak has had his head
down here, but of course
the whole time.
The whole time now, here he's raising his head.
So my point is that I'm saying that if he had come out earlier, it would have allowed the defenders to be able to overlap and cover.
No, you see.
So by the time Patrick had gone wide and come back inside.
Don't forget, those defenders, if they had covered him, they cannot save the ball with their hands. They are restricted and limited. But the reason why he couldn't come out, the ball was too far off from the box. Razak picked the ball in the half of Hasselhoff, and I think he made about 3 or 4 touches before he actually saw Danlad in front of him and then went past him and planted the ball in the back. But if I'm a coach and I'm assessing this, I will not blame the goalkeeper.
At all.
I will blame the lack of intelligence on the part of those who came to cover the 2 centre-backs of Kotoko.
Danny, I don't know what you want to pick on this game. Boydu said even if he uses the Hasselhoff youth team,
no, he should stop saying that.
Hold on.
It doesn't show respect.
Yes, it doesn't, obviously. But he said it, and he's shown up in a game where everybody expected Kotoko to go and win, and he's won it. I mean, What does that say about, for example, the mentality of the two teams, perhaps, and even Boyd's own record against Kotoko, which, as things stand,
it's still intact.
He hasn't tasted
excellent.
defeat. For Boyd, it's a personal thing for him, so you can understand why he said that. And you see, he said that in response to something that
Prosper had
said. So you can understand why he was a bit agitated and made those statements. But that is in the past. I am impressed with not the whole team, but with Salim in particular.
Yeah,
because we saw him 2 weeks ago against Kotoko, and he was piss poor. He was subbed after, I think, 50 minutes. Yeah. He got a yellow card, and he was all over the place. He could not impose himself. And you could tell in that game that the occasion had gotten to him, and he couldn't. So in 2 weeks, for him to learn, credit to the technical team for preparing him, for having faith in him to play him again from the start in this game. And for him to go out and also make his presence felt. It wasn't just the passing, it was the body language, the composure. Anytime he picked up the ball, he didn't rush the issue. Yeah. And you also have to credit somebody like Suli Montari on the pitch, who was very vocal.
Very vocal.
Literally micromanaging the players on the pitch, asking them when to calm down, when to pass the ball, who to pass the ball to. And that is the experience that Hearts of Oak knew they were getting when they went out to bring him back in. At 37 years old, he's seen it, he's done it all. And he brought it to bear in the game against Kotoko. Another thing that also impressed me was Hearts of Oak's resilience. We've seen throughout this season where they go out, they take the lead, they dominate, they should be 2-3-0 up, and then they concede, and after conceding, they crumble. But in this game, you could tell. Even, you see, when the set piece came, if you watch the movement of Patrick Razak, he was dropping in to go and defend. And then Boydie was telling him to. Yeah. Yes, keep up, continue.
It was very direct instruction from him.
Don't drop deep because there could be a chance. And you see, what I loved about the Patrick Razak goal was that when Hearts intercepted the ball, they didn't instantly go long. Yeah. They picked 2-3 passes. You could tell this was a worked out sequence. 2-3 passes and the ball was laid to him. So they didn't rush the chance. And that is something we've seen Hearts of Oak do throughout the season, where when they are panicking, they go for the long ball when it's not necessary. They rush the shot. But this time they were very composed and they picked out the chance. And Patrick Razak also. You alluded to it in the last statement you made to Coach about Danla coming out. We have to credit him because we know his composure is not the best. His finishing is not the best. But he took his time. At that point in the game, he knew that was basically the last chance of the game. And he showed great composure, taking his time, going past the goalkeeper and slotting into the back of the net. Unfortunately for us, they would have wished that this came in the league game against Kotoko because they had enough opportunities. Had that composure been there, they could have won that game. But this is something that should give them confidence going into the second round. And you see, it just reminds the teams in the league that Kotoko is beatable. Of course. They can't concede chances if we are calm, if we are composed.
Their next game against Bechem,
exactly,
who are in a very good position as well.
That is
and they are going away.
They're going away. That is a tough one. So this game has come at the right point for everybody in the season. It just injects the league with more excitement going forward. And I'm especially happy that Etuga once again has had a bad game against Hearts. I'm saying I'm happy because everybody thought he was unplayable. Then he came up against Hearts of Oak in the league game. He had a poor game. You would have thought that he would have tried to impose himself on this game. It's happened again. And you see, for the defenders in the Ghana Premier League, it just tells them once again that you can't do a job against him. He is not Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. You can do a job against him if you are disciplined, if you are composed, you can. So then, I'm saying it just brings back more excitement into the league. This wasn't a league game, but it's two teams who are competing in the league, and from Tuesday they are playing their outstanding game. We see what happens there.
Certainly. So that's that. Congratulations to Hearts of Oak winning the President's Cup, of course. Let's move it on. There were league matches played across the country. One of them was on TV. That was King Faisal at home to Ejana Stars. Ejana beat them away from home by 1-0.
Bright Ajay stays onside, and there he breaks the deadlock in 5 minutes. And it's Ejana Stars who have stunned King Faisal with Bright Ajay.
He's always going to take it. And there you have him. Lovely chest control. The ball hasn't even dropped to the ground. Left it over the goalkeeper. Brilliant stuff.
Real good goal.
Frank Boateng needed to be sure of the trajectory of the ball before applying the save. Fortunately for him, the last movement of the ball took the ball to where he was standing.
Nuruddin. Now, King Faisal Coach Lai takes a look at
All right. King Faisal lost that hope. Let me show you the 4 results from the Ghana Premier League after week 19. Lions and Olympics ended 0-0. Gold Stars beat Mediama 1-0. There were not a lot of goals in this round. Dreams FC got a 2-0 victory against Elmina Sharks. Karela United also beat Ash Gold 2-1. So that's back-to-back defeats for Ash Gold. The Faisal and the General Stars results you see there. RTU against Lagos Cities ended in a 1-1 draw. The rest of the matches scheduled for later this week. All right, the table, what does that look like after week 19? Let's show you the table now. Asante Kotoko, top 40 points. They have played 1 game less than the rest of the teams. The General Stars, their victory is taking them to second, 33 points. Great Olympics in third now. Bashim United, they play Kotoko in the outstanding game, and that should be very interesting. If they can get a victory, it will take them back to that second position, and that will be 7 points behind Kotoko. King Faisal are further down. Mediama, Karela, Hearts of Oak are down in 8th position. They also have a game in hand. If they can win that, it will take them up to 29 points. That will be 11 points behind Kotoko. And then, that's if Kotoko don't win, of course. But if Kotoko do win, that would make it 14 points from Kotoko. Anyway, so you see the bottom 3 as well. 11 Wonders, Wafa, and Elmina Sharks. All right, so that's the lowdown from the Ghana Premier League. Coach, quick thoughts on the results or any of the other talking points from the Ghana Premier League?
I think, again, I just want to comment on the goal that King Faisal conceded.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with playing the high line. But if that is the tactics of the manager, then there should always be a player pressing the ball. Because if you are playing that high up the pitch and your opponent gets the ball in possession of the ball, and you don't press, he's got the time to pick the pass. And once the pass is correctly executed, you pay the price for that. Look, even this pass wasn't well executed because the player had to control the ball from the air with his chest before watching the goalkeeper. Look, if you want our game to improve, it should improve in all aspects. Not only we talking about the pitch, the quality of our pitches, but the quality of the football should be proper. The quality of the coaching should be proper. The tactics should be seen. When you sit back and you watch, you say, yeah, this is proper tactics. But you don't ask your team to play a high line and not get those guys in the middle.
It almost looks comical.
Very comical. Yeah. And for me, absolutely.
Coach, speaking of our pitch, did you see the Cape Coast pitch today?
Look, to be honest with you, whoever is in charge of that,
Lord Comey,
he's
Director of Operations at the Presidency, he's in charge of Independence Day celebration.
No, I'm not talking about the Independence. I'm talking about the Cape Coast Stadium, the pitch.
Green grass. But that green grass didn't stay that in there.
Framboy is not in charge of the pitch.
Oh, who is?
He is contracted to work on the pitch.
But
so the people...
Oh, you mean the people who own the facility? NSC.
Professor what? What is the name?
Peter.
Look, I don't think he's working. I don't think he's working. Because in 19 days or 20 days, we are playing the Super Eagles on that pitch. From what you saw today, are we giving our players any chance at all of winning that game?
Well, football is not...
The grass is virtually dead.
Yeah.
Did you see the grass today?
Yes. They were doing gymnastics, acrobatics, and people were catching fire.
That is why you need to service the grass. That is why you need to feed the grass.
They will feed it. They have the men.
You don't wait for the thing to die before you feed it.
No. You see, this one, they had to do that for Independence Day celebration.
And I'm saying, proud to the Independence Day celebration, service the thing. So that once you are done, you just go and fix the little damages that will occur. But
I get what you're saying. What you're saying is that what we saw today is not the celebrations that have killed the grass. The grass was already dead before the...
That's what I'm saying.
I get your point.
The grass looks dead.
Yeah. Even before the
Independence Day celebration.
That's true.
And for me, if there are people who are being paid monthly, from my money, from your money, from our money, to take care of those facilities, and you see this thing like that, we're not giving ourselves.
Coach, maybe they care about the 19 days. They'll fix it. They have the men.
Look, I don't think. It's not about doing anything at all. Yeah. It's about
restoring it to
to a certain level,
proper quality.
the whole world will be watching that game.
With VAR.
Everything will be on display.
Yeah.
Is this what we are going to present?
Yes.
In the match against Ghana versus Nigeria?
Yes.
We'll be watching. For me, look, if Professor Chumisi is watching this program or any of his people are watching, they should tell him that is not acceptable. That is unacceptable.
Let's judge him
19 days.
Let's judge him on that day.
No, let me tell him once and for all before the time reaches, because he cannot do that. Look at the Kumasi page. It looks so delicious.
It does. It does.
Why can't you do the same?
Because it's being fed.
That is simple as that. What is the food for grass?
Water and fertilizer.
Simple. We can't afford that. Come on, it's shameful, man. It's shameful.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll take you to England, show you some highlights from the English Premier League. I've got some messages here as well. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me take some of your messages. This time I start from WhatsApp. This one says, good evening, senior fan. Thanks for bringing us the best Sunday night sports show. Missed Coach for a while, but I'm happy to see him back, just that he needs some revival prayers for his blood club. Grateful to Xavi for bringing back the love to Barca, or bringing some hope back to Barca. Congrats to him. I salute brother Daniel. Chak Singh at Taplaku with that message. This one says, good evening and thank you people for the good work you've been doing for Ghana. Prosper and his guys should up their game anytime they face Hearts of Oak. From Anan William inside Autu Akwampa. And he says, and greetings goes to Cindy Jato in Ablekuma. Well, we wrote Abrakuma. Okay, maybe it's Abrakuma. I don't know the town, but that's what you wrote. So I read it like that. Before somebody thinks I'm trying to pronounce Ablekuma and I'm getting it wrong. Like, it happened one time here. The guys were laughing. I didn't know that.
Read your message.
Somebody wrote something to me. I need to call you people out. Do you understand?
Read your message, you are not
explaining. The person wrote pray, and I also wrote
so you read.
Coach, let me go on. So Cindy Jato in Abrakuma, thank you. Say shout outs to you, all right? That's a message from Anan William. All right, more messages. This one says, good evening, guys. I'm Eric Kwabena Amwa from Vivian Farms. Please tell Opana Daniel Cranton that we love it when he is in pains. And Akonana from Arsenal will keep shaming him. All right? That sounds like a message from an Arsenal fan. This one says, good evening. I'm Eric Odum, watching live from Gomoa, Port Saint. I'm happy House of Folk and Chelsea won. GFA must wake up from sleeping. What kind of medal and trophy was that? That's an issue too.
I know where they bought the trophy from.
You know.
You and I know where they bought the trophy from.
The trophy has a belt hook. It has a buckle. The medal, it has a buckle. We've done this twice.
I said last December, I went to Palace Mall.
Palace Mall. We saw that.
Oh, I was going to get trophy for church inter-church competition. It's there. It's 110 CDs. It's there, I'm telling you. Then the Champions League trophy too is sitting by. They have mini size and they have maxi. The mini size is 90 Ghana. The maxi is 180 Ghana. For me, it's there, Palace Mall. It's there. I mean,
he's the charm of Gaka.
Yes.
He bought that trophy and put it there.
What is that? Did you see the medal? It has a buckle
and Suleiman Tari is lowering his neck to take that.
You see, let me read more messages. You see, let's not waste our energy.
I have to control myself. Let's go.
Let's not waste our energy on them.
You see, but they won't see anything wrong with it. But the moment you sit here, you hate hard, then they will say you everything.
But we said it on. Since we say it on Panorama, every day has Kotoko. Then you will treat them well too.
Shock.
Oh God. Yes. Gaka really needs to sit and think about how to revolutionize this competition. This whole idea of arbitrarily selecting teams and every day it always ends up being Has Kotoko for President's Cup. It has to stop. Let it be an organized competition with structure. At the moment, it's a structureless competition.
It has no structure. It's like they'll be there and we play
you
the
come and play.
So you come and play.
There's no structure. There's no structure. There's no structure at all. In fact, a structure to it would actually increase the value of the competition.
Of course.
Because it would make people want to compete. It would be a certain prestige.
At the end of the day, the appearance money is good money.
Yes.
Whatever the teams get. So put a structure to make it a bit competitive. You should earn the right to play.
Yes, you
in that
must
competition.
earn. Thank you.
Must
That's the
earn
word.
right to play.
At the moment, nobody earns the right to
No.
play President's Cup. Every day, you just sit down and
House
have
and Kotoko.
because you think it's easy. Like
to just,
people will come. So you cheap money. Don't do that. Don't do that. The president will be there to watch, even if it is between Fankoba and Domas and Chenchi.
He'll be there.
The president will be there.
After all, they're all Ghanaian teams.
Thank you. And if we have to bash people from Doma and Fankoba to come and watch, we will do it. Put structure to
I
it.
think
Thank you.
simplicity. Make the Super Cup the President Cup.
Maybe name it after the president.
That's what I'm saying. That is my opinion.
Put the president's name on the Super Cup. That's also an idea.
On the Super Cup.
That's his idea.
The league winner, the FA Cup winner. Let's go play.
Emmanuel Akoto, aka Sir Aluta from Kade, says, you guys are doing extremely good. House of Folk presented a new trophy to Togbe, and Kotoko also presented a new badge to 2 for GPL2 UFC. Ayiko. Special good evening to His Excellency, Daniel Cranting. And he says, phobia. This was a great show by General Stars beating King Faisal at their own backyard to avenge that painful defeat in the first round on home soil. Bright in Bando. This one says, good evening to you and Numo Chris as well. House of Folk wins men's what coach Samuel Boydu said about Kotoko, that they can never win a game with him, even if he plays with Phobia's second team. Ni Amu in Kumasi with that message. This one says, if Mbele cannot score against Hearts, then he has no business naturalizing for Ghana because he cannot be our best.
Who proposed?
Interesting. Abdullah from Bimbala says, I will not allow House of Folk and Man Utd to give me blood pressure. I'm moving from the red side of Manchester to the blue side of Manchester from now till the end of the season. And as for House of Folk, I'll decide what to do with them in the coming weeks. I don't want to die young. Abdullah, thank you. This one says, Kotoko tasted defeat after unveiling a new bat. It's a sign of bad luck. We'll say phobia. Kojo Ado, a.k.a. Abono from Goma Posin, with that message. Please send me more messages. 0550585832. But this message is mainly for MCR. Send me more messages, MCR. I beg you, send me more messages. Thank you very much. Let's go to the English Premier League. Let's start with Chelsea. They were at Burnley. They won that game comfortably by 4-0. All the goals coming in the second half. All right, so tough, more blue. Chelsea, comfortable winners. Liverpool, they took on West Ham United. It was a very, very difficult game. But in the end, they won by 1-0. All right, so Liverpool getting a very hard-fought victory there, winning by 1-0. Guys, brief thoughts on the Chelsea game. It took them a while to get going.
Exactly.
But once they did, your favorite player was unstoppable,
Exactly.
Reece James. Chelsea have really missed him.
I've always said he's world class.
Yeah.
Look, if all things is to go according to plan, I think that ball will be the best right back in 2 years from now in world football. Because defensively he's solid. Going forward, he knows how to go about his business. That was a brilliant goal by him. But Chelsea themselves will have to be very careful, because if Burnley had been any other team, this game would have been out of reach.
Especially
in the first
half.
half.
Yeah.
Burnley should have been at least 3 goals up in the first 30 minutes. That is why they are where they are. Okay, they are battling relegation because they don't score too many goals. But once, after the halftime whistle had gone, and Tuchel met them in the dressing room, you always knew that things would change.
Yeah.
And once the first goal went in from an individual brilliance from Reece James, the floodgates were open. And I think within the space of 10 minutes...
8 minutes, they scored like 3 goals.
3 goals already, game over. And that is what you want to do if you are the world champions. On the part of Liverpool, all things being said, look, they were lucky to win this. But it is what it is. At this current moment, if you are chasing the league, it's the 3 points that matters. You don't need to be playing delicious, enterprising, beautiful football all the time. There are times you should be ready to win ugly. You should be ready to win nicely. When you don't play well and you win games, that is when you have every belief that this thing is going to go down to the wire. From the way things are, from the results of this week, it is looking very likely that that game in April between Liverpool, Man City and Liverpool will decide who, because I foresee Liverpool winning every other game.
Just like
they will
Man
play.
City.
Man City will do same. Now, when the two teams meet, I foresee this coming down to what happened between Manchester United and Man City the season before Alex Ferguson retired
yes,
in 2012.
Aguero.
When the league was won on goals difference. Yeah. I think most likely it will come down to that. Because if it is the 3 points in there, going to the Etihad, I fancy Liverpool to go and cause it.
Yeah, interesting. Daniel, let's go back to the first game, Chelsea. And the Kai Havertz striker sort of thing. Like that centre forward play from Kai Havertz, every time he plays there, he's looking a totally different player now compared to what many people saw him to be in his first season. He seemed to be taking to heart that centre forward position. And it looks like an option that Tuchel is exploring a lot more now.
And not in his first. If you say the first season, it looked like he didn't. Since Tuchel came, he's been playing that lead role in the attack, and he's been flourishing. He's scored all the important goals for Chelsea, and I think anytime he plays, he proves that I was right when I said Chelsea needed his sort of talent. It's the intelligence for me, and you see that is what differentiates top class players these days. It's about what happens in the brain. It's not about your ability, your technique. It is thinking, and then it is putting it in action. And he's brilliant. His movement, and you see, you can tell he has that natural instinct of a striker, and you can understand when you go back to his days at Leverkusen, where he played as a second striker. He made those late runs into the box. He made those decoy runs. He was involved in the build-up play. He just understands the box and the area around the box, and he knows how to score also. So anytime he scores, then you look on the bench and you ask yourself, what happens
but the more he plays, the more he does well.
Exactly. And you see, when he plays, it looks like everybody in the attack seems to do well. When Lukaku plays, Chelsea need to play a certain way before they can win. When Havertz is playing, Chelsea there are so many different avenues that they can get goals from, and Kai is an integral part of that attacking setup. Yeah, so it is something that Thomas Tuchel needs to address. Does he insist on using Lukaku and then playing to Lukaku's strengths and asking the team to play to his strengths, or does he ask Lukaku also
to be more like Havertz?
To be not necessarily more like Havertz, but try and adapt to the system and then try and work. But look, it's about winning football games. If Havertz is playing and he's getting you the wins, that is fine.
Individual feelings don't matter.
It doesn't really.
How about Liverpool? Luis Diaz is sticking to this team like a duck in water. It's almost like he's been part of them a long time.
Every time you watch him, you can't help but admire Liverpool's scouting department. Exactly. And you see, it's not just Luis Diaz. There was Jota, there was Mane, there was Salah.
True.
Even Shaqiri came in, Origi. These guys, even Van Dijk.
Konate.
Look, the guys in there, anytime they come, look, Liverpool brings in a player. You can tell exactly where they are going to slot in. And they always do the job. We were giving Thiago the stick at the beginning of his time at Liverpool. He's become very certain. When he's fit, he's dictating play. You look at somebody like Naby Keita. Anytime he's fit, he's doing the job. So it's a scouting team with Jurgen Klopp at the head who understands the system, understand what the system needs, and they go out and they fish out players who can suit the system. Not like another red team that I know who, anyway. But look, Liverpool are doing the work. They are putting in the work. And you see, that is how you win championships. You look at the similar thing with Manchester City. When Pep buys a player, you know that he knows how he's going to use the player. And you know at the end of the day, that player is going to be an integral part of him winning trophies. So that is what championship teams do. And you have to credit Liverpool for their transfer business. Absolutely.
So Liverpool doing the chasing at the moment. They've played one game less than Man City. And they're 6 points behind. So if they were to win that outstanding match, of course, they will go within 3 points. And will all go down to the wire like Nimley is predicting. Manchester City, after Liverpool won, they needed to restore that 6-point difference, but they had to do it the hard way. They took on City rivals, Manchester United, at the Etihad Stadium, and it took them just 5 minutes to get going, of course, and it was Kevin De Bruyne who opened the scoring for them. And it was a very strange goal. Daniel, talk me through it. I mean, they've gone out to tackle him. The tackle isn't great. It's got 3 United players who failed to stop Phil Foden. Somehow,
Look,
he squeezes the pass through and De Bruyne finishes.
If you can permit me, let me just start my submission now and let the highlights roll. So I think today's game was, it showed. 3 weeks ago, Coach and I had a debate over here about what exactly the problem was. I felt the coach had a huge part to play, especially when it came to the defensive structure of the team. And he felt individuals also needed to take responsibility. I think today we saw both sides of the coin. You look at that first Manchester United goal, the goal they conceded. I still maintain it's down to defensive structure, and it's down to a similar problem we're seeing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. When the ball was out on the Manchester City left-hand side, 3 Man United defensive players.
It was unbelievable to watch.
And you see, then people start blaming somebody like Maguire. But if you ask yourself, whatever Maguire was going to do was going to be reactionary. He wasn't going to be able to stop the shot. All he could have done was maybe block it and hopefully the ball hit him and it not go in or whatever. But it was reactionary. All of them went onto that side, and that is very problematic. In sequences in the game also, you could see that players needed to take responsibility. Somebody like Fred. It's not the coach who will point out the player for you to pass to. Some things, common sense coming. When you've been playing professional football for over 15 years, you should have a certain level of IQ and a certain level of intelligence. You should be able to see when a player wearing red is surrounded by 3 blue players, and you should be able to see when a player wearing red is free. Yeah. And something should tell you to pass the ball to the free player, not to pass the ball to the player who is crowded out. And some of these things, yes, you also have to blame players. But look, if you are going to win football matches, yes, you have to score goals, but your defense needs... Look, you need a solid defense. Manchester City play the nicest football in the league, but they've conceded the least goals in the league.
21 now.
21.
Unbelievable.
Look.
No, 18, sorry.
18.
They had considered 17 before this
18.
18.
And this is a mark of champions. You look at Liverpool too, the same thing. They've considered the 2nd least goals in the season. So the top 2 teams are showing us that defensive solidity and defensive structure is very key if you want to win championships.
That's true.
You don't... When I'm saying defend, I'm not talking about throwing your body on the ground and
that kind of defending. Structural defending.
Yes. If you look at the work that Tuchel did when he came to Chelsea, you could tell that he immediately addressed that problem. Even somebody like Arteta, when he took over the Arsenal job, Arsenal are not as easy to score as they were maybe in his early days as at now. He's sort of fixed that problem. You see, and that problem is not necessarily by personnel. The Arsenal team just looks a bit more compact and they are just a bit more difficult to break down. Yes, sometimes they concede, but on a whole, when you are looking at them, you can tell that it's difficult to score them. You look at a team like Wolves, Bruno Lage, at the beginning of the season, they were conceding goals. All of a sudden, it's very difficult to score Wolves. Yes, they'll lose a couple of games, but it's very difficult to score them. And you can tell that when they are the sort of teams that when they take the lead, you know you are done. But for Man United, it's very worrying when you see goals like that. And if you can see the first goal again, literally the first highlight, after 5 minutes, I don't see why the second centre-back should be joining, who was it, Wan-Bissaka, and I think it was McTominay down on the right-hand side trying to close down a Manchester City attack. It really shouldn't be happening. And these things, it's still down to structure. It's still down to coaching. Yeah. And I feel Rangnick has some work to do. If there was anything he could have done, and you see, he mentioned this when he first came in. He said the team conceded too many goals, and he'll try and fix that defensive problem.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is 2 players who are close down, 2-on-2. Then Lindelof goes in, and once he goes in,
that is 3 United players who were in no man's land.
I don't know if I could come in here.
Yes,
if only we could go back. Let's go back a bit. This is where I again disagree with.
Pause the thing here.
This is absolutely down to the players.
Okay.
So just pause it here. Now look at Harry Maguire. Look at Alex Telles.
So
from where the ball is, there's no way Bernardo Silva is scoring from there. As from this play, who is the most dangerous player there?
Maybe Foden and De Bruyne.
It's Foden and De Bruyne. So Maguire here has Foden inside. Telles has who inside? De Bruyne inside. And if you roll it, you see Telles rather calling Maguire. Look at it. You see, he's pointing to Maguire that come and mark.
So that he will do what exactly?
So he will do what? This is not coaching. This is down to the players. Because you could clearly see the danger. Okay?
Because at this point, Maguire should be closing in on Foden and Telles. What about behind Telles? Maybe what about Telles? Because there was Mahrez behind him.
Exactly. But if you look at the pressure being put on the ball, there was no way Bernardo Silva would.
But that's the point. Isn't that what Telles is preventing? But the moment they switch to Mahrez...
No. You see, let me show you coaching here. You as a defender, give the opponent the difficult route to go.
Okay.
As it stands here,
can we pause?
Pause
it here for me.
Pause it here. Who is closest to go?
De Bruyne.
Yes.
So but Mahrez too is in a very, very important.
And I can tell you that if the ball, by the time the ball will travel to Mahrez, Telles would have
a volley. He scored one.
I'm coming.
Okay.
He could have turned and go and block the ball.
Coach.
If I'm the one, look, there's something we did in coaching. When we were going through the defensive principle of coaching, it was fundamental. Make sure you give the opponent the most difficult route to go. As it stands here, in terms of danger, between De Bruyne and Mahrez, Mahrez is coming from an angle. So that obviously makes his route to go very difficult.
But that's where he scores from all the time.
No, you see, if he's scoring from there all the time, it doesn't erase the fact that his route to go is the most difficult route as compared to Kevin De Bruyne.
Look, that is
so
granted.
if I'm the defender, as in Telles,
Yeah.
you could clearly see what was he doing pointing at Maguire to go in. Because, look, De Bruyne was on the blind side of Maguire.
Okay. That point is very well made. That the players' communication, understanding of position.
Can we go back again so I establish my point? Just go back to the footage.
All right, the same first go. Here we are.
This. Now pause it here.
Pause it there.
You see, in attacking play, okay, you are always trying to either level, equal the amount of players in the box.
So as
attacking
there,
players in the box.
In fact, being equal to the number is actually dangerous.
It's dangerous for the attacking team.
You have to be more.
Look, that
is it.
Let me finish. So that is what you are trying to do. Okay. Once Lindelof makes that move to go and help whoever it is trying to cross the ball in without actually blocking the cross, this is danger. This is exactly where Manchester City wants you to be. And you see, I don't blame Maguire because Fred is in the box. But Fred is not in a position to close down Foden, who is at the near post. If that ball gets to Foden, okay, Mahrez will make that move inside, and it becomes a 2 against 1.
Yes.
If that ball gets to Foden, and Maguire doesn't close him well enough, it is still a 1 against 1 between.
At this point, Mahrez is already the box.
So once Lindelof moves in, it leaves Maguire in 2 minds. Should he go and close down Foden, leaving space there, or should he wait for the cross to come in and hopefully try and block it? So I'm saying fundamentally, the first mistake is made by Lindelof to go in there. And you see, that is my point. That's why I use the word reactionary. A team like Chelsea, a team like Manchester City, you will not have your second centre back going in. They will make room for another defense. When I say defensive
actually,
player,
a defensive midfielder should be happening
yes,
nowadays.
and that is what. No, let me establish the point.
Yeah.
That is what McTominay is doing there with Wan-Bissaka. That is a 2 against 2.
That's what
so
it
you are
should be.
either stopping the cross, or if the cross comes in, you have your centre back in position to stop the cross. So if those 2 guys cannot stop the Manchester City cross, Lindelof has no business moving in to help. But that's what I'm saying. When you see these patterns repeat themselves over and over and over again, you cannot help but tell that there's something that is not happening
because
at the
the
training
players,
ground.
obviously, the coaches should have spotted. Yeah. I think that's Daniel's point.
That is my point.
But
we are saying the same thing.
Yeah, you are.
But
we need to take a break.
I'm saying that.
Yes.
If you go back to the sequence again, the Manchester City player who played the ball with Bernardo Silva, by the time Lindelof went in there to make it a 3v2, the second Manchester player had gone into an offside position. Go back. So he was completely...
So that's now 3 against 1.
So that's now 3 against... But
they still couldn't stop the cross.
Before it became 3v1, He was active.
So for you, it is a player issue, not a structure issue. All right, that's fair.
If you are telling your player, look at him, what you going to take the responsibility?
That's a fair point. All right, anyway, we'll take a short break here. When we come back, I'll read more of your messages, and then we can wrap up our conversation on Manchester City versus Man United. We still have Arsenal against Watford to come, and all of the other games from Italy, Spain, and Germany, all here on Scorecard. Welcome back. This is Scorecard. We are on the last leg of the show. Let me take a few messages, this time from Twitter, where a lot of you have sent in messages. Gambero Roland says, hi, friend. Luis Diaz is equal to Frank Ribery. That's a fair comparison, at least based on the talent level. Ni Ogbami says, if Man City's...
Comparing who? Diaz to
Ribery.
Ribery.
Don't do that.
Come on, man.
I mean,
he's a good player, but
yeah,
don't
but
stretch it.
when
Don't say it's fair.
Ribery
It's not
started,
fair.
no, it has to.
He's not equal to Frank Ribery.
You start from
Continue reading the
somewhere.
messages.
Okay.
He's not equal
Neil
to-
Ogbami says, if Man City's fourth goal was awarded by VAR, then Lukaku's goal at the final of the EFL Cup should also have been awarded a goal. Any Kweku says, it's Chelsea and Man City who have both conceded 18 goals. Liverpool have conceded 20. I don't think Chelsea have conceded 18 goals. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I know Man City have definitely conceded 18. Nansia Mohammed, my good friend and brother, he says, the way coach is sitting says a lot. He can't. Juventus should have given him a day off. We can't throw him again. No, it's a slang.
I would have done something today, but for the defeat. This program would have trended
days after
for 3 weeks. But because of the defeat, I have to call it.
I like the honesty.
What I plan to do today.
What did you plan to do?
I won't tell you.
Another chance will come.
And I will do it.
Osu
And my Chelsea brothers will love me after what that.
See who is texting us. The whole Osu Asafwache.
Wow.
Osu Asafwache. He says, I thank City for doing the double over United in the process of scoring Ninoi. Okay. It says, so is this the champion coach Nimli and Danike has been bragging about? He's worse than Ole. Fentu has also been right about that coach. Total fraud. Thank you for the message. Mela says, Man United will never be great again if these English do stop behaving like they own the club. Okay, if they don't stop behaving. No one will take the bold decision. Magua still in the lineup, but when Bissaka ahead of Dalot, who did we offend in the first place? Interesting. Nation Builder also says, Nigeria declares fasting ahead of Ghana clash, and we are still fighting E-Levy. All right, interesting. More messages here. Otis Rabia Sadat. He says, all aspects of Ghana football is substandard, no structure, no competition, no mileage, no value. He's watching us from Lakeside Estate, my neighbor. Hindsight says, they say the President's Cup trophy was bought at Palace.
It's true.
Awal Gerard says, Salam alaikum, friends. Wa alaikum salam. Patrick Razak is apparently faster than Kotoko's China bus. I'm having a weekend of my life. House of Oak won, Roma won, Chelsea won. I pray this joy continues unabated. Interesting. He's texting us from Kumasi. Mr. Brandon says, Ronaldo, I think it's time for us to make another move. Manchester United, then you are face spamming yourself. Niankra says, great win from the Continental Club Masters to claim yet again another trophy. Muntari was spared on the day, and Salim marshaled the defense really well. Phobia, you say. Ni Bulmesh says, what has coach got to say about the United derby? Great show, guys. Well, we heard Coach Rimley. Kwame Safu Kakari says, good evening, guys. With you guys, my Sunday night is always complete. AC Milan is my world. And he says, Kevin Taylor, they worry you, Fencho. All right, interesting. Oxley says, coach is spot on. If the pitch was already in good shape before the Independence Day celebration, very little tweaks would have been done to the pitch after the event. And now we have to import grass for the Niger game. Gambero Roland. He says, I think City are too strong to win the league and they can go 10 games unbeaten. But Luis Diaz reminds me of Frank Ribery. All right. Nene Kise says, the Etuka guy is just an overrated is just overrated and hyped. He has only 2 away goals and a bunch of penalty goals at home. There must be an inquiry into why Kotoko is always getting penalties at home. Interesting. More messages here. Senna says, when a man has taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business. But he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he has taken. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 5. This scripture is for Nathan Kwao. Senna from Dodowa. Emmanuel Thompson says, guys, Bayern Munich are winning the Bundesliga and Champions League titles. Kotoko for the GPL, City for the EPL, Madrid for La Liga, and Inter for the Serie A, PSG for League One. What's Coach Nimli's comments about that? Who are your prediction? You want Coach to comment on your prediction? Why do you people worry Coach like
what
that?
you think will happen.
Why do you people worry Coach like that? Oh, God. This one says, somebody says, Coach, you are a snitch. Kwame not nocturnal. Gustavo Gaviria. You know who, Coach, do you know who Gustavo Gaviria is?
I don't know him.
Daniel, do you know Gustavo Gaviria? I don't know him. Only people who watch Narcos will know who Gustavo Gaviria
I don't watch those
is.
things.
He was Pablo Escobar's cousin.
Cocaine people. I don't watch those things, Coach.
On that note, I'll stop reading messages. Why are you like this?
Remember, if you mention Pablo Escobar, we associate him with one thing. So, I don't watch those things, I beg.
All right, Coach. Let's move it on. Concluding thoughts on the United game. You didn't really get to say much about it, except on the first goal.
Let me just have
yes.
Look, on the day, I think tactically, Rangnick got it right in that first half. Why do I say so? Because he did something that Pep least expected him to do in terms of the system and where he deployed the players. The Pogba, Bruno Fernandes front two, with Pogba dropping a bit deep or Bruno dropping a bit deep, was a complete surprise to the Man City players and their coach. Kevin De Bruyne alluded to that, where he said, we didn't expect them to line up the way they did. So we struggled in that first 25, 30 minutes. They
scored in the first 5 minutes. How did they struggle?
Because they got pegged back. Yes, they took the lead, but if you looked at that first half, in fact, United
deserved the equalizer at that point.
Better openings. If only the passes had gone in at the time that they should have gone. Man United should have taken the lead. Should have at least gone into that half-time break, the team in the lead.
Okay.
But having said that, again, if you have McTominay and Fred, the midfield of Cleverley, and then the Watford pair, Sissoko, Bullet, Tominay and Fred. Newcastle, Bullet, Tominay and Fred. Norwich, Bullet, Tominay and Fred. Everton, Bullet, Fred. All of them are. So it was clear that the best team in the world, in my view currently, will show their class. So the question was that, could United live with City for 90 minutes? That was where I had my doubt. Now, if you look at the bench of Manchester United, who were the players there? Phil Jones, Mata, Matic, Bailly,
Lingard,
Rashford, and then the boy from Tunisia, the young player who's a very good player. He was on the bench. If you look at those names, there's no game changer in there.
Rashford?
Come on, man. Don't do that. You see, Lingard, he's been at Man U for more than 10 years old.
He's an academy player all his life.
All his life. Mm-hmm. He's not a game changer. So it is clear that United supporters will suffer before their best days begin to come. And I'm happy Rangnick is going to be involved in the decision making. As it stands, me, if I have my way, Ronaldo,
out.
Pogba,
out.
Mata,
out.
Matic,
out.
Jones,
out.
Lingard,
out.
Bailly,
out.
Maguire,
out.
Wan-Bissaka,
out.
I will sack.
That's the whole team.
Yes.
He said Wan-Bissaka.
You were a big fan of Wan-Bissaka. What has changed?
Defensively, I named him 4 Bissakas.
Yes. So
But technically, he's not good enough.
Okay, that's an interesting turnaround.
He's not good
because
enough. Look,
there was a point where you sat here and said Bisakes was the best defender, especially.
He was the best defender, but from the way the game has evolved.
All in 6 months.
No, he cannot pass
the game has evolved in 6 months.
No, he cannot pass the ball. So if you are a fullback and you cannot pass, look at Rhys James.
All right.
Now, look at the difference in class. Liverpool has who?
Trent. He's already broken his record. He has
Man City has who?
Kyle Walker.
Chelsea has who?
Rhys James.
These are the pace setters in that position. So clearly, Wan-Bissaka is not.
He's out. All right, coach.
So for me,
let's move it on.
United, Rangnick.
There has to be a massive revolution.
Oh, come on. That's why Rangnick is important.
So in the summer,
he will identify the talent at a low cost. Spend the money on them. 10 million, 15 million, 25 million, 30 million. Then put them together. As for Pogba, Ronaldo, when I hear he says if Man Utd don't qualify for the Champions League, he's going to leave. He's 37 years.
He faked the injury. He wanted to avoid an embarrassment.
No, you are 37 years. Whether you like it or not, you've come to the end of your career. I would have preferred, if he's going to prove a bit stubborn, let him. If not, keep him in the team, hand over the armband to him, and let him accept that these are young boys who are going to work for you. Papa, stay in there. We'll bring you the chances. You won't play 90 minutes week in, week out. Simple.
Yeah, Coach made a point. He said tactically United were drilled to win the game, but the passes were not coming through. It takes me back to what I was saying last week about Bruno Fernandes. You see, when you are a number 10, when you are a playmaker, your first instinct should be create. Your first instinct should not be goal. And you see, it cost United a lot because there were several moments in the game where Elanga is on the last leg, Pogba is on the last leg, Sancho. He will keep on to the ball, and he was always giving the ball to be given back to him.
Yeah.
And you see, that will not help.
That's not him.
If you saw Sancho's goal, the ball, as soon as it goes to Pogba, he knew that Sancho was making the run. Boom. Because that is the game plan. That is why you are there. That is why you have the technique to execute
so
those
Bruno
passes.
Fernandes catching some flack at the moment from United fans.
He wasn't aware of the situation today.
At all. Last week too, he wasn't.
No, last week, against Watford.
He wasn't aware. Speaking of Watford, they took on Arsenal at Vicarage Road. It was a 5-goal thriller. The Gunners won by 5-2. Absolutely brilliant goals from the Gunners. So Mikel Arteta's got this team playing some sweet football, and what a win today as well. Arsenal, significantly, have now moved above Man United into 4th position, having played 3 games less.
They should go and beat Chelsea. They should go and beat Liverpool. They should go and beat Tottenham. That's the 3 games they've got left.
The point is, they are above United.
It's a fact.
Having played 3 games less.
Factors. And I'm saying the 3 games they are to play will be against Chelsea, Liverpool, and Tottenham. They should go and beat them and cement top 4.
But even Chelsea themselves, they are 5 points behind them, having played 1 game less.
And I'm saying...
Friends, you see,
and they still have to play Chelsea.
Friends, the fact is Arsenal are favourites for top 4.
Yes,
because if you take those 3 games out, which they used to equal, that will be 10 games left for them, 10 games left for Man United. Out of Man United's 10 games left, they have games against Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal themselves,
and
Liverpool and then Leicester City. That is 5. 5 tough ones. And Arsenal would have cleared their tough games and they are outstanding. And they have 10 winnable games.
So they definitely are favourites.
So
they are favourites for top 4.
That is unfortunate for Man United. But for Akunana, clearly showing and shaming that they are cranting all the way. Let me show you the 4 results from the Premier League this weekend. So there you go. Aston Villa, big winners as well. Moving from 1 win in their last 8 matches, they've now made it 2 out of 2.
Yeah. That's football for you. I mean,
absolutely. So Steven Gerrard finding some revival there. They beat Southampton. Brentford got a significant away win as well. Newcastle doing their relegation challenge
5
a big
out of
favour.
their last 6. They are beaten in 6 games. Newcastle. Just
unbelievable.
Like
Newcastle.
See what money can do.
I think the shock result of the weekend has to be Crystal Palace winning away at
Newcastle. Man. Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, Zaha.
If you look at the way Wolves themselves are a very solid team.
Tomorrow night, Monday night, Spurs against Everton. That's live on 97.3 Citi FM. All right, let's go to Germany. We have 1 game to show you from there. Bayern Munich against Bayer Leverkusen. That match ended 1-1. Bayern scored twice. 1 in their goal, 1 in the opposition goal. All right, so Let me show you the full results on the Bundesliga this weekend before we move on. So there you go. Borussia Dortmund Mainz postponed, of course, but the rest of the results, you see them there. Arminia Bielefeld lost at home to Augsburg. Bayern's result followed. Leipzig and Freiburg ended 1-1. Wolfsburg won 1-0 against Union Berlin. Hertha Berlin lost at home 4-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt. Bochum 2-1 winners against Greuther Fürth. Stuttgart 3-2 winners against Mönchengladbach. And FSV Mainz 05 Dortmund postponed, as well as Cologne and TSG Hoffenheim winning away from home 1-0. Let me take you to Italy now and bring you two games. AS Roma, they beat Atalanta 1-0 in a game where both teams were reduced to 10 men, followed by Inter Milan's 5-0 win against Salernitana. All right, let's show you the full results from the Serie A this weekend as well. This game that you see at the bottom, Napoli against AC Milan. AC Milan won that particular game by 1-0. So AC Milan have reclaimed top spot. They've gone 2 points above Inter Milan. They have 60 points now. Inter Milan have 58 and Napoli have 57. So it's a massive, massive competition there in the Serie A. The rest of the results, you see them there. Lazio getting a significant 3-0 win away at Cagliari. And Sassuolo also thumping Venezia by 4 goals to 1. Fiorentina and Verona ending in a 1-1 draw. All right. Let's go to Spain now. Real Madrid took on Real Sociedad. It was a very comfortable victory for them, winning by 4 goals to 1. Here you see the highlights. And Sociedad, of course, started things off. They didn't know what was coming, did they? Daniel?
They did not. Camavinga, what a strike here. Absolutely brilliant.
Look at that. Look at that.
Class technique. And you see what I loved about this was that I was clapping for Camavinga's goal. And then you see Modric soon come up next. It was,
it was a midfield. It was midfielder's show.
Look at this for class. Look at this. Come on, man.
Goodness me.
Be serious.
There's nothing I like more than a goal from outside the box, from long range.
Yeah, he's the proper evergreen.
On his weaker left foot. It's just brilliant.
That is fabulous.
Brilliant technique. And this guy was at it again. Vinicius Jr., he was brilliant in this game.
Yeah.
And look, it's a response from Real Madrid. We know they've been struggling for goals in the past couple of weeks. To go down and then to show resolve and come back and get 4 goals. And it could easily have been 7. Trust me, it could easily have been 7. They were just absolutely ruthless. And that is what you want. You always, at times, you just need to remind people that you are still in charge, you are still in control. And that's what Madrid did on the day.
They needed this, actually, because of the fact that they are playing PSG on Wednesday and they have a deficit to over 10. And I can't wait for that game, actually. It's going to be a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Madrid will not lose at home.
Yeah, they have to. They have to overturn that. Anyway, so how about Barcelona? Xavi is leading a massive revolution at the club. They won 2-1 away at Elche. You see the highlights there. What a mess from Elche. And then, brilliant save from the goalkeeper yet again, stopping that effort. But it was only a matter of time. And then, boom, Elche with the opening goal. It was a brilliant one. This is what I always... Every time someone scores a goal like this, I think about Asamoah Gyan. It was almost like this is his perfect. If you give him the angle like this, he'll fire it in. So Barca needed to fight back, and the fight back started here.
Ferran Torres, he came on as a sub at halftime. Mm-hmm. He came on for Xavi, who gave the assist for Fidel's goal, that's Elche's goal. And then Ferran Torres came in, he scored. He missed chance upon chance upon chance. And that is beginning to be one of his weaknesses, his inability to finish off his chances. But Barcelona still showed resolve. And you have to do that if you're a top-class team. This is one of the chances for Ferran Torres.
So you're talking about, many strikers will score that.
Yeah.
He was unable to do it.
He missed this one again. He had enough opportunities. This guy is a beast. And then it was this man, Memphis Depay, winning a penalty. And then smashing it into the net to give
no chance for anybody.
2-1 lead. But look, I'm impressed because when Xavi was coming, I was afraid he was being set up with the kind of talent that he had in his team. But you have to credit what they did in January. The transfers they made in January, I think that is what has transformed.
He's a proper baller. You identify the players who fit in the Barcelona system.
Even the decision to go and bring back Alves.
Yeah.
Many people criticize him for it, but Alves comes, his first game, he scores, he gets sent off. It's almost very difficult.
Literally purchased a new front three, and he has Depay coming back. Ansu Fati will come back. Yeah. It's just, it's
scary. Credit to
him. There's Gavi, there's Pedri. Is it Pedri?
Pedri.
There's Pedri, those guys.
Pedri, Javi, brilliant. Coach, Daniel, that's our show for
tonight.
Always
a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure. A very happy, Independence Day to all of you. Thank you very much. We wish Ghana a very happy Independence Day. Of course, it's Heritage Month. Be proud, be happy, be grateful for the country that we all call Ghana. Let's do everything possible to protect it. It's very important. The show will repeat Mondays 1 p.m. Until then, take care of yourself and bye-bye.